and welcome to another Forza Motorsport 7 video. Now this is the Audi RS2, this is the Porsche 928, and this is the BMW M3, all of which are considered as German 90s icons. They're all performance cars built obviously in the 90s, and they are all relatively similar. They're all built by big German car manufacturers. Now this got me thinking, which one of these three cars is best? Now obviously to do this we're not going to test the fuel economy of any of the cars or how practical any of them are. No, we're going to test how fast they are. Now as for the Porsche, it's a 5.4 litre naturally aspirated V8 with 345 horsepower, and it can easily go 170 miles an hour. However, it's the heaviest of the three, it's 3,594 pounds. So yeah, it could be interesting to see how that will get on. Now as for the Audi RS2, obviously it's an estate. It has a 2.2 litre i5 with 311 brake horsepower, and it weighs 3,517 pounds. So yeah, it should be interesting to see how a big four-door estate car should get on among this group. Now as for the BMW M3, it has a 3.2 litre i6 pushing out 322 brake horsepower, and it weighs 3,219 pounds, so it is by miles the lightest of the group, and it has around middling power. So without further ado, let's see how these three get on. Okay, so for the first test of these German 90s icons, we've come here to the test track airfield for a quarter-mile drag race. Now obviously the RS2 has its quattro four-wheel drive, however I think it is slightly lacking on power to the other two, so what it does towards the end might be a bit interesting.
My car is better than yours.
Here it goes with that quattro four-wheel drive launch. However, as we get to the halfway mark, the M3 is coming back past, and the Audi can't do anything about it, as is the Porsche.
Oh,
there you go.
Oh, is it the Porsche?
A great launch from the Audi.
Actually,
the M3 did hold on for the Porsche.
Didn't expect that.
And go.
It gets
bogged down
here.
The Porsche actually does get a bit of a better launch than the M3, and then the M3 kicks in, as does the Porsche. That must have yeah. That's pretty impressive.
I think he's got a better power to weight ratio.
Yeah, he's got good mid kind of gay acceleration.
Mid acceleration, yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Okay, so we're going to do 0 to 100 and then back to 0 again. So also this is a test of acceleration and braking, so the M3 is going to set off first. Obviously I do have the quattro all-wheel drive, but I'm not entirely sure how well that will help me considering what happened in the drag race. So we'll see. And of course, and launch! Unleash the quattro four-wheel drive. Now it gets to about 50 miles an hour rather quickly, and then after that kind of slows down a bit. I'm going to try not to hit the nice BMW that's parked there, and I'm on the brakes. That was maybe about 99 there, so maybe a bit too early, but it doesn't really matter as the BMW is a good 200 feet up the runway. So now it's time for the Porsche. The Porsche is off. It is the heaviest of the three, but it's also the most powerful with that big V8. So let's see how it does. Getting stopped. Oh! Ah! And it is exactly midway.
Completely in the middle.
Completely in the middle. So the Audi loses that. Porsche comes second, and once again the BMW is the winner. Okay, so far we've tested acceleration, braking and straight line speed, but now we're going to come to a circuit to see how they perform there. Now I'm not holding up too many hopes for the Audi, as we've already determined it's slower in a straight line than both the BMW and the Porsche, and it being a big estate car I'm guessing it won't really hold up too well in the corners either, but we'll see. So off the line. Obviously got a good launch, however it's not enough to make up a position.
Slot in the middle here.
Might actually get the Porsche under brakes here.
Didn't know when to brake
the brakes on this are brilliant. They were developed by Porsche themselves, so technically what I'm racing here is a Porsche estate. As the M3 gets very sideways on the grass, I might actually be able to pull alongside. Now this is the shorter version of the track, so we're going to need to go into a big braking zone here. Porsche's braking quite light. Quite wide. No. Come on! Oh! I don't really have the grip to go around the outside of the BMW. I managed to make it stick. Oh, come Come on, it's all very close. The Porsche's getting very, very sideways.
Whoa.
I've caught up during that first sector to the BMW a little bit, but now the straight, and again I have no chance. I'll probably drive all three cars after this just to see how they perform together with the same driver and stuff, but yeah, this doesn't really hold up well.
I don't think the Beamer's got the greatest diff ever, to be honest.
No, stop it, you stupid car.
Oh yes, it's been so fun when it slides around every single corner. It won't be annoying at all. Oh yes, why don't we add some understeer into the mix? We all love understeer.
Oh, I shifted into first, that was a mistake.
Yeah, I did that last lap round.
I was dancing on the bonnet. BMW has gone a bit exploring.
Try and hold it around the outside and you know it's the understeer creeping in with this car, which is not what I expected.
Yeah, same with this. Yeah. I mean, it is a big estate car with four-wheel drive.
Yeah,
it's quite chunky.
It's more expected because of the all-wheel drive. This is the rear-wheel drive. So...
Nicely on the brakes, getting some time around the corner, hit the apex nicely, come on! I just have no acceleration at the corner. Great handling, but sadly, just doesn't have the power to match those two. Oh, it's going to be close between the BMW and the Porsche, but the BMW is going to outrun it. But yeah, this was Audi's first RS car, and it does have, so it's quite interesting to see how it performs, but it just doesn't have the top end speed to match those two. Okay, so as we saw in the last race, the RS2 does handle really rather well, but on Hockenheim it couldn't really hold its own up. So we've come to Sonoma, a bit more of a handling based track, to see how its all-wheel drive will hold up against the other two. Good launch, but once again not going to be enough to make a position up to the Porsche, so let's drop in that behind. Right, here we go. This is where my all-wheel drive should come into play.
Oh wow!
Good handling.
A load of wheel spin coming off that corner there.
Not sure really what gear I want to be in through there. The Porsche is doing some Morse code on the back of the M3. Porsche's extra power has managed to get past on here, but I am sticking to the back of the BMW a bit better than I was at Hockenheim. You can see I'm much closer to the back than I would be there. But they are still battling, so that could have something to do with it.
Oh,
we're all a bit wide up there. Oh, that was quite scary. I think I accidentally shifted down there in all of that. I don't really know where to go. Yes, come on. I've got a good run on the BMW. Yeah, but it just has good acceleration. Come on. I'm on the back of the BMW, going a bit wide. We both gone a little bit onto the grass there. Let's see if I can maybe get onto braking. No, and he's been second there as well.
oh my god, I'm doing a tripod. Jesus. That I was not expecting.
Come on. See if I can get the BMW on the brakes. Bit of timing, I'm sorry about that.
That's fine. Oh, come on, turn in.
See if I can get a cut back on the way out. No, it just doesn't have the acceleration to do it.
Oh lord.
God, the BMW's getting sideways, I'm still hooked onto the rear bumper of that thing. Still got one more lap to go as well. And now it straightens out a little bit, he is getting away.
I'm not going to brake enough.
Oh, another fight! I had to panic and brake as the car understeered wide. But we're still side by side. Into the hairpin. Come on. Yes! Here we go. Now as we go into the final lap. BMW is going to gain some time, as you can see he's already trying to get back past around the final corner. Oh, that's not good. I brake myself completely there. A bit of understeering in the mix as well. God, that thing accelerates really, really well. When it's alongside, I just have no match for it, as we saw in the drag race as well. I'm going to stick to the outside, try and get a good run. I have the grip.
Power, 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 power. Come on.
Going a bit wide.
Come on,
I got a
Beamer.
very wonky run.
Yes.
BMW's got a great run out of that corner. I'm stuck on the outside once again unless he outbrakes himself, which he isn't going to do. He's actually getting a very nice line, so I can't do a cutback. I might be able to maybe get him into here, left the door open, but again, just doesn't have the acceleration. I think unless I can do something into this final sector, I think the Audi might not have a chance of getting second place. It put up a damn good fight though.
No, you're not
Maybe he's
getting
trying
it like that.
under brakes. Isn't going to get it done.
Go out wide there.
Gotta keep it in second, yeah.
Oh, I knew you were gonna come and very closely shave my nose off there.
No!
I get a cut back.
Oh, the Porsche's going sideways.
Damn it.
It's not what you want when you're stuck on the outside of a long sweeping turn like that.
Morse code.
My rear bumper, not yours.
Yes!
We've all caught up to each other through there.
Oh. We might need some new cars after this.
Yeah. I think this
We're
thing
getting a
is
bit,
starting to look like
bodywork
Alf should have
scratches.
had to go in a special.
God's sake.
Alright.
No. Let's go. He's right up with, you're right up with us though, Quinn.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
You go for a dive on the dimmer.
Bit of Morse code. I'm trying my
I'm
hardest.
not really defending because I was getting on the straight anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. There's no point really trying to get past because you're going to get past on the straight. In fact, you're probably even going to get past the Porsche. Well, at least draw alongside.
Maybe. Oh no.
Oh, the Porsche's got a massive sideways moment.
Is it to block the dimmer?
Hate this line.
Good.
BMW is trying everything to get past. But is he going to hold him off on the straight? It's going to be close.
Oh no!
Who's gone
BMW's
wide?
got a very wide line, but is it going to be enough?
I think it
I
is.
think the Porsche is gonna
Yeah.
come in first. It is close. Sadly, a little mistake from the BMW. Kept it in second place. So there we go. The Audi RS2 did put up a good fight. Yeah, we did get pretty close lap times. The Audi RS2 did put up a good fight in the mix here and there, but it wasn't enough to overtake in most places. And when I add up all the scores, the M3 comes out in first place and the 928 in second. So there you go. If you want a German 90s icon, then go for the BMW M3.
I mean, we all knew that in the first place anyway, so this was a useless video. Again, we all know BMW M3s are the best of the sports cars. It's just a fact.
So, as I mentioned earlier on in the video, I did want to take all three cars out on a track with in the same conditions and obviously the same driver to see how they would compare performance-wise, and that to me meant coming back here, the Sebring Club Circuit, which if you don't know is my test track that I use occasionally for my channel. However, you may know I haven't been here on my channel for quite a while, or at least I haven't used it for quite a while on my channel in this fashion. And over that time, over the year or so that I've been using this track as my test track, I have been using different assists and my driving has generally improved, so that meant the results would be a bit unfair. So what I did was take a few cars that I had set times with earlier in the year and basically redo their times. So there are a few cars that I basically just rejigged about that I took that I've taken around this track, sorry, and you've just seen the M3 do a lap. So yeah, basically just to try and make it more fair, and if I do want to use this track in the future some more, then yeah, everything is fair. Now you did see coming into that first corner with the Porsche, this thing does have a lot of body roll. Louis did talk about this car's body roll quite a lot, and it didn't exactly seem like the easiest car to drive it, going sideways all the time, and it's quite lurchy under brakes. As you can see there, it's almost rolling over around that corner. This is quite a difficult corner into the braking zone because you really have to sort of turn and brake into there, and this corner, a little bit of an unusual thing happened. Basically under braking, you can see the front bumper actually scraping braking into that corner, that is how much the car rolls under braking and turning. If you go back in the video, you'll notice it. But yeah, that was quite an interesting car to drive. The gearbox wasn't too fun either, so yeah, it wasn't really the most pleasant car to drive. And then the Audi. For me, the Audi, it handles brilliantly. I'm surprised it didn't understeer more than it did. Basically, this car was co-developed with Porsche, and it handles absolutely brilliantly. The brakes are great. It sticks to the road really great, with maybe a hint of understeer here and there. As you can see here, I just kind of overdrove it a little bit onto the grass. Kind of easy to do. But yeah, I mean, obviously the M3 probably handles the best out of the three. It's kind of obvious, really. But I mean, you can see there, this corner really squeezes out the understeer of most cars, but it just didn't with the Audi if you really drive it nicely. So coming up to the line now in the Audi RS2, I mean, while it wasn't the fastest in the races, it was still probably the biggest surprise for me. I just loved the way that this thing drives. It kind of drove like a modern car, and well, here is where we find that out. This is the new board. As you can see, I've squeezed everything onto one screen. The BMW M3 got a 119.37, which for a car that's over 20 years old, it's nearly a second quicker than the Kia Stinger, which is a brand new four-door sports saloon, which is incredibly impressive. The Porsche 928, only a little bit behind. It's actually in front of the Veloster N by over a second, and the Audi RS2, well, it's not too far behind. The Veloster N does lack on the acceleration front, it having maybe a bit less power than the other two, but still pretty impressive times for cars that are over 20 years old. So the answer to the question that I set out to find at the beginning of this video, what is the best 90s German sports car? It is, of course, the BMW M3, as we found out by many tests. So yeah, that is the end of this video. If you have enjoyed it, please make sure to like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already to my channel. That would be highly appreciated. Also go make sure you subscribe to Louis and Lewis, as they did help out with this video. I'll leave a link in the description and a thing on the outro. But until the next video, goodbye.